Welcome to my art exhibit, Deep Connections, Daughter-Father Hopkins Landing, at the Gibsons Public Art Gallery. I have dreamt of having an exhibit like this since 2012, when my father Don passed away, and truthfully I would have liked to have created a show before then with him while he was still alive, but it wasn't meant to be. Losing parents and loved ones is a passage of life none of us are ever prepared for, and grasping the reality of it is often a lifelong pursuit. Many of us seek some vestiges of their existence long after they leave. To feel connected to someone is to feel understood, loved, accepted, affirmed, with a sense of belonging. It is in our nature to seek out and cultivate connections, and I truly don't think it would be possible to live without them. How do we keep meaningful connections alive when physical connections are lost? My father's passing was a profound loss for me. We shared an introspective, artistic nature, and he was my mentor and a very caring parent. Don was a self-taught, accomplished, and very cerebral artist. He studied many books and master's methods, made copious notes, and took his work very seriously. He was also a grandson of George Henderson Hopkins, founder of Hopkins Landing, British Columbia. He grew up there with his two parents, his two brothers, and Hopkins family relatives and friends. Don moved east in his 20s to work for the National Film Board, but after 26 years or so, he and my mother returned in retirement to live at the Landing once again. I came to my connection with Hopkins Landing later in life, given I grew up in Montreal. The Landing to me is where my parents lived many of their happiest years together. And although no longer with us, it feels to me like they continue to and will always be there, with many other loved members of Landing families that live on there in memory. As I struggle to keep vestiges of my connection with my father alive, I cling to memories, I look through his sketchbooks, and seek to find something that perhaps I hadn't found before. This inherently led me to exploring our family origins, as many of us are inspired to do later in life, seeking meaning and validation. Many have their own relationship to Hopkins Landing, and this show is by no means intended to be a comprehensive historical retrospective, but is a series of personal impressions, expressions, discoveries, and tributes. While creating the work for the show, there was an added gift of feeling like I was getting to know some of my ancestors. Studying and rendering their faces led me to more of a sense of intimacy and a stirring of emotions. In my ongoing art practice, I am an expressive modern narrative painter who explores heartfelt, nostalgic, and curiosity-provoking scenarios. I like to think my paintings and drawings start a story in the viewer's mind. Being curious by nature, I am constantly exploring my choice of mediums and execution. I seek learning, resonance, sincerity, and kinship through my work. Thank you.